Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today, and we're going to jump right in with a review. And today we're talking about this. So this is the Paramo Valez Jacket. So it's under their waterproof jacket range. It retails at £300, and essentially they call it their lightweight, super versatile jacket that's usable throughout the year, whether you're climbing, whether you're hiking or backpacking, walking the dogs, canoeing and kayaking. This jacket is supposed to do it all. And what I wanted to do today was just run through some of the main features of the jacket and give you a sort of rundown of how I've been finding it. Obviously we've got a bit of a beautiful sunny day here today, which is such a treat, but I have been wearing this in some pretty wet weather recently, and it's been interesting because it's my first real use of Paramo, sort of comparing it to the Gore-Tex sort of shell jackets that I'm used to using. So basically let's jump right in with the features. So you can see right now I'm wearing pumpkin. This is a super bright orange, you can't really miss me, which is nice, especially when I'm leading walks or out in the mountains. I think it's good to have nice bright colours just in the event of an emergency. So it also comes in different colours, so I think there's midnight and maroon or something like that. There's 4 different colours anyway, there's black as well, and you can have a look online, you can see them there. So it weighs in at 605 grams, so it's certainly not the lightest jacket out there, but the idea is essentially once you've got it on, you keep it on. It is very, very comfortable next to the skin. You've not obviously got all the usual sort of crinkly noise that you get with your hard shells, which is actually kind of a treat. You can sort of, I don't know, say you were stalking an animal to get some nice shots or video, of probably not in pumpkin colour. You know that you're going to be a bit more discreet in terms of the noise that you're making with the clothes that you're wearing, so it's nice. You can probably only just see this in shot, but I am actually wearing the Valez trousers, so I've got a separate review for those guys as well. But they sort of partner up very similar materials and functions in the way that they work. So key features then, I'm just going to run through these in a random order. Essentially you've got obviously your main sort of central zip, which comes all the way up. You've got a nice sort of storm flap behind that. You've got the beard guard as well. Not that I need to worry too much about that, but it is quite nice having softer fabric when it's up against your chin, just to sort of lock in the warmth there. This is a double zip, so you can unzip it from the bottom if you really want to vent, or just fly around like it's a cape, because why not? So that's quite nice. I have found a few times though, it makes it a little bit difficult trying to sort of, when you're, let me just undo this, when you're doing up the zip, it is a bit of an art. I'm not great with zips at the best of times, but just trying to, there you go, it tends to get a little bit stuck. I can't even do it now. Trying to basically do up the zip, there you go, you've got to be sort of careful with that. Obviously you don't want to bend the metal or undo the zip in any way, so that then you need to send it back and get it stitched up. So there's an adjustment point here at the sort of waist, so you can pull that nice and tight. Again, really just lock in that heat. I always do that with my jackets, it's nice. And it's got a scooped tail, so if I turn around you can see you can pull it right down over your bottom, so again just extra protection when you're sitting down, just sort of keep your bottom nice and dry, which is beautiful. So it's sort of layered fabric. You've got this mesh on the inside which makes it soft against the skin, and then you've got the sort of looser waterproofing fabric. Now what I love about Paramo, or many things, but their ethics are really interesting. They're all about sustainability and fair trade and recycling. So this is PFC, so polyfluorocarbon free. That's a sort of water repellency finish, or the durable water repellent finish that's put on most waterproofs, and essentially it washes off, and then obviously when it washes off, we're usually outside, so it ends up in the landscape, and it's just obviously contamination and pollution. So this is PFC free, which is super nice. It's also made through fair trade practices in Colombia, and you can find out more about that on the Paramo website. And it's also fully recyclable, so Paramo have an awesome scheme where once you're done with the jacket or clothing, once you're happy, you feel like, yep, I've got some life out of that, you can send it back even if it's like 10-20 years down the line, and they'll give you £50 off the next purchase, which is ace. So I really like that. Anyway, coming back to the features, so we've got the sleeves here, as you can see, just a Velcro cuff, which is quite nice, and I like the fact that there's plenty of space there, so you can get some nice thick gloves obviously over your hands and pull the sleeves over the top, really lock in that heat, which is nice. We talked about venting a little bit, obviously from the bottom here. Other vents we've got, they're quite discreet, there's not a lot, but we've got these really neat little vents here on the sleeve. It's kind of really weird though, because like the wind catches it and it makes you feel like you've got like really wet armpits and everything else is warm, and it's like, oh, slight breeze under the armpits. But they're quite effective, I find. I still think I would have preferred pit zips just because that's what I'm used to, and actually I think that allows your core temperature to air a little bit more. But the other option you've got for zippage, let me just undo that one so I can air myself, is here on the sides. So you can see essentially you can unzip the outer zip. So let me just do it up so you can see what I mean. So the outer zip here, which is not glove compatible, I wouldn't say necessarily. I mean, it's a nice little toggle, but it's quite, you might want to tie a loop on that if you're going to be using thick gloves in the mountains. But you grab that, pull it down, and you can see I've got a vent. Now you can probably also see that there's another zip. This one sort of is glove compatible. It's a little bit more grabbable, and if I undo that, that's how I get to the pocket, and I can do that on the other side. And again, nice big pockets here. Now I have got an OS map, and I'll show you that now. So basically you could probably just about fit a normal OS map in here. It would definitely stick out and be at risk of falling out, but I've got an active map and that doesn't really fit, so they're not quite big enough for an OS active map, but they're nice and comfortable. When you've got a rucksack on, you can quite easily keep your hands in your pockets, which is nice just to keep them warm. Really, again, nice smooth fabric. Of course it's venting. It is kind of interesting because you know, I would say some days I like to walk around with my hands in my pocket because I'm cold, but I wouldn't really want the vent open. So kind of mixed opinions about that in really cold weather. I perhaps would have liked to have a chest pocket. I think that would be quite nice. Just to, obviously it would add weight, but perhaps a nice, or even just a smaller internal pocket so that you can sort of keep electronics close to your body, so you can help keep them warm so the batteries don't die, stuff like that. That would have been a really nice little feature. I don't think that would have added much weight given the fact you've got all this fabric here anyway. Just could have put a zip in. But yeah, that's the pockets and the venting situation. Obviously a little logo there on the front and a logo here on the side. Always nice to have the Paramo and Knit Wax logo. So speaking of knit wax, so this is knit wax can't say that word. Analogy. I'll put it on the bottom. I really struggle pronouncing that word. But essentially, your traditional waterproof, so your Gore-Tex and Events and so on, the way they work is they sort of pull away some of the water vapor that you produce when you're sweating from your skin, but usually only about 20%. So that can leave you feeling sort of sticky and sweaty as you go through the day, especially sort of mild days, but where it's raining all the time, such as in Scotland or when you're in Scandinavia. You know, it's just sticky and not very comfortable. Now what I quite like about the way Knit Wax works is essentially, again, it's that layering system and the fabrics and the combination of the weave and everything that they've put into this production. So essentially it's pulling away both the water vapor and the actual moisture, so it keeps your core temperature nice and stable, keeps you nice and dry and nice and comfortable. And I have actually found that. The only thing for me is that I do find I sweat more in this jacket, which is kind of swings and roundabouts, because I do walk warm, and this is, even though this is supposed to be a nice lightweight jacket for all year round use, yeah, it's quite warm for me. So sort of mixed opinions about that, really, whether or not this would be something I would personally myself use all year round. But I do love how comfortable it is. I love the venting options, and I think on a classic muggy day it would probably do the job. So just some other features to run through. If I get my hair out the way, I can show you the hood. So the hood is helmet compatible. It's not quite hat compatible. So we've got the wired peak here, so you can adjust that. You can pull the zip right up, so you can lock yourself in. You've got some toggles. Where are the toggles? So the toggles are sitting here, and then there they are. So nice two straps. You pull that down. You can really lock yourself in, keep yourself nice and secure. You've got a toggle on the back of the hood there as well, so you can pull that tight. If you had your helmet, that would fit underneath as well. So this is a really nice helmet. It feels very, very secure, very comfortable. You know, you've got good freedom of movement, and actually freedom of movement all through the whole jacket. Really nice articulated sleeves. Nothing rises up. When you're trying a jacket, you don't want the jacket to rise up, because of course it's going to leave parts of your body exposed. Excuse me, and then they'll get wet and uncomfortable. So that's the hood. Get my hat back on, I feel naked without it. And to be honest, that's most of the features with this jacket, really. So obviously it fits well with a backpack, which is nice. And actually, you know, the shoulders and the back, it's all mesh, it's all reinforced, so it's going to take that wear and tear when you're wearing a jacket, or sorry, a backpack of any sort of weight or size. So I really like that about this jacket as well. And as I say, to be honest, that is it with this jacket. So it's pretty simple compared to a lot of the jackets that Paramo offer. Many of their smocks are sort of full of zips and pockets, and this one's stripped right down to basics, so you can sort of move light and fast through the mountains. As I say, it's not the lightest waterproof out there, but if you're interested in sort of buying into an ethical company, something that's going to last, and if you sort of want to steer away from the whole Gore-Tex hard shell sort of system, then this jacket might just be for you. As always, I really recommend that you try things before you buy them. If you're a user of Paramo, I'd love to hear from you about how you've got on with your Paramo experience, so please do pop that in the comments below. But as always, let's keep it kind and positive, because this is a safe space for everybody. So guys, I wanted to say thank you for tuning in with me today. If you get this jacket, I hope you have many great adventures with it, and until next time, stay wild. I'll see you soon.